For someone associated with Formula One, is there something of an off season for you guys? Because it's been within 2 months of a season ending, a new season's about to start.
Yeah, it's a very short off-season. I mean, it's only just over a month since Abu Dhabi, and we're a month away from running our new car. In fact, we're only a couple of weeks away from the first shakedown. So, so the factory is very busy. Everybody's flat out. Last year already feels a long time ago. So everybody's getting geared up for the season ahead.
Yes, you said last year seems a long time ago. Definitely not in the media space, considering what we seem to be reading. But new rules this year. But are we likely to see some different leaderboards considering the changes? Or you think that the established teams just know what to expect and what to deliver?
No, I think it's going to be, there could be a shake-up in the order. I think you can see that teams like Ferrari, McLaren, maybe even one or two surprises. Because it's a complete reset of the regulations, and ourselves, Mercedes, were very much involved in last year's championship fight. So inevitably that takes a little bit of, distraction and emphasis away from the following year. So we will, expect to have some very fierce competition out there this year, and I think that's going to be an exciting championship ahead.
Yes, because, the FIA did say that they're introducing these new regulations in a bit to get more edge-of-the-seat racing. But what we saw last season, and you just alluded to that, was when you put two very good cars and put two very good drivers in it, you do get edge-of-the-seat action. You may not need these rule changes after all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Formula One is a complicated sport. It's a complicated business, and it's all about how you interpret the rules, the regulations. Brand new rules for this year, brand new, the biggest chassis changes probably in 30 years. So it's going to be fascinating to see how the teams interpret those regulations, which of course we only get to see for the first time in Barcelona in about a month.
Yes, you did mention the very short turnaround time, but have you had time over the holiday season to reflect on the 2021 season and perhaps what you would have done differently?
Yeah, I mean, you're always learning. You can always, do things better. The races you win, the races particularly that you lose. And 2021 was an amazing season for us. It was a tough season. It was a hard season. But let's see what 2022 now brings.
Okay, Christian, you've seen success very closely in Formula One. There were the Red Bull domination years at the beginning of the 2010, that decade when Sebastian Vettel won 4 world titles in a row. Red Bull Racing also won those 4 world titles. But then there was a gap when you were there and you were competing and you kept seeing Mercedes win race after race and championship after championship. How difficult was that period for you personally and for the team not to get despondent and to have the belief that you all could fight back?
Well, of course, it's very tough when you've gone from winning, everything for 4 years to suddenly, you're on the back foot. And, we just had to keep our focus, keep working hard, keep believing in ourselves. And, obviously we had a period of Mercedes domination, but I think we demonstrated that if you believe in yourself, if you do the job to the best of your ability, anything is possible. And I think we demonstrated that as a team last year by managing to beat Mercedes, the first team to beat Mercedes, in the hybrid era.
Okay, Christian, you actually got him on board to the team when he was still a kid, 16, 17. And now you've seen him evolve over the years, and now he's world champion in Formula One. What do you think, having worked very closely with him, what do you think makes him such a special talent?
I think it's his hunger, it's his determination, it's his natural ability, but the fact that he never gives up. He's a fighter. He will never let go of any opportunity, and I think that's what marks him out as an exciting driver, as a great driver. And if you've got Max behind you, he's going to have a go, and I think that's why he's got such a big following in Formula One, and that we see continuing to grow.
Okay, you've been associated with Formula One and motorsport for a much longer time. Just asking you to step back from your role as team principal and just casting your eye over the talent that we are seeing right now in the sport. Who do you think are the drivers in the future who could sort of go on and push Max and sort of define the next generation? We've already had Max Verstappen coming to the fore, but then there is a sort of generational shift happening as well. So who are the drivers who've caught your attention?
Well, look, I think Formula One's in great shape at the moment because there's so many exciting young drivers. I mean, Max, of course, is only 24. We've got a whole generation around him, like Charles Leclerc, George Russell in the Mercedes this year. You have Lando Norris that looks exciting, Carlos Sainz. So you've got many drivers that are of a similar age that are going to be there for the next 10 years or so. And I think that's great for the sport. It's great for the competition and going to be exciting to see how it pans out.
Okay, y'all did do get one thing right, which is win the Drivers' Championship, but there's also the matter of the Constructors' Championship. Yeah. Now, having put Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez together last season, what have you seen that perhaps convinces you that this is the year y'all could end Mercedes' sort of grip on that Constructors' title?
Well, we got close last year. Had it not been for a bit of bad luck, obviously the DNF in Saudi was tough on us, and we had to retire Sergio in Abu Dhabi. I think without those two results, we would have been right there. And the fact that we pushed Mercedes hard over 22 races last year, when they've dominated without any competition, the previous 7 years, we take great encouragement from, and now we've got to try and go that one step further.
Christian, just a wider take on the sport. We've seen in 2022 the sort of attempts to innovate. What do you think of these innovations that are coming in, and do you think sprint qualifying is something that could work or should be a part now of the sport?
Well, I'm very much a purist, and I believe that qualifying the race are the fundamental aspects of a Grand Prix. I think that the sprint races were interesting last year. I think the format wasn't perfect, but if you don't try something, you don't know. And I think there's things that could be done to make it more exciting, to make it more interesting. But it's getting quite late now, and we're going to need to have a decision, pretty shortly.
Okay, Christian Horner, thank you so much for joining us, and here's wishing you and your team a very successful season, and hopefully you can do the double.
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for the talk today.